What do we have?
To the greatest. To the greatest.
Well, we can all agree that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. I think we can all agree on that unanimously without much questions there.
There's some people that might not agree with that.
That poll dropped, the internet, all hell broke loose. One simple fan poll by Puberty, one of the biggest social media pages on the internet, just reignited the greatest sports debate of all time. Over 41 million followers got to vote, and the result? Michael Jordan crowned the greatest of all time. Kobe Bryant took second. And LeBron James? Not even in the top two. The second that poll dropped, the internet, especially LeBron's fan base, absolutely lost it. Twitter turned into a battlefield. ESPN comment sections looked like World War III. LeBron fans called it rigged, biased, straight up disrespectful. But what if this poll wasn't a fluke? What if it revealed something deeper? A truth LeBron fans have been dodging for years. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because today, we're breaking down why LeBron's fan base went nuclear, what this poll really exposed about the GOAT debate, and why, decades later, Michael Jordan's shadow still owns the game. Stick around because this one got messy. The poll that flipped everything. It started off like any casual fan bracket. Puberty dropped a You Decide GOAT tournament. 16 players, head-to-head matchups, fans voting each round. Jordan versus Anthony Davis. LeBron versus David Robinson. Kobe versus Dirk Nowitzki. Pretty simple setup. Then came the final votes, and the results shocked everyone. Jordan won in a landslide, taking 77% of the votes over Kobe Bryant. And when it was all said and done, Kobe, not LeBron, finished as the second greatest player of all time. That means tens of thousands of fans out of millions picked Kobe over LeBron. And in the GOAT conversation, that's not just a result, it's a statement. The comments section exploded. Over 4,500 comments rolled in. One user wrote, "Kobe over LeBron? Haven't heard a bigger joke than that." In other news, water is wet. Another fired back, "No need for the numbers. We already know MJ's the GOAT." But behind all the trolling and chaos, something much bigger was happening. Something that showed just how divided basketball culture really is. The cult of LeBron versus the legacy of Jordan. For over a decade, this debate has evolved into more than basketball. It's a cultural war. It's generations, identity, and social media narratives colliding head-on. LeBron's fan base, born and raised in the social media era, built its entire identity around defending him. Every stat, every comparison, every washed king tweet. It's all part of their mission to protect his legacy. But Michael Jordan? He doesn't need defending. His legend was built before Twitter threads, before YouTube highlight reels, before PR-driven storytelling. Jordan's myth was built on results. 6 finals appearances. 6 championships. 6 finals MVPs. And 0 losses. That's the wall LeBron fans just can't climb. So, they changed the argument, longevity, assists, off-court activism. And while those things matter, polls like this strip everything back to basics. No algorithms. No analytics. Just raw emotion and perception it still belongs to Michael Jordan. Because when people think of greatness, they don't picture graphs, they remember moments. Game 6. The flu game. The shrug. Those are the snapshots that defined basketball and shaped its very identity. And that's exactly what this poll reminded everyone, especially LeBron's fan base. Now, the twist, Kobe Bryant finishing second. That part stunned almost everyone. But when you really think about it, it fits perfectly. Kobe was the bridge between eras, the player who idolized Jordan, studied him, and came closer than anyone to becoming him. Kobe's ranking above LeBron wasn't about stats, it was about symbolism. It was fans saying, "We value obsession. We value toughness. We value mentality." Kobe embodied the Mamba mentality, something stats can't measure. He played through pain, demanded respect, and even in 2025, fans still feel that fire. So when Kobe topped LeBron, it wasn't nostalgia, it was a message. Basketball is still about heart, killer instinct, and legacy. And that's when everything exploded. LeBron fans, the most passionate and defensive fan base in sports, went into overdrive. Fake poll. MJ fans are just old heads. Social media bias. They threw every excuse in the book. But what that outrage really showed was how fragile LeBron's GOAT case still is in the public eye. Because even after 20 years of dominance, for championships and records on records, most fans still don't feel like LeBron defines basketball greatness the way Jordan did. And that's the key word, feel. LeBron's legacy has unfolded in real time under constant social media surveillance. Every loss, every trade, every quote dissected. Meanwhile, Jordan's era lives in a golden time capsule, his myth untouched. LeBron's story is documented in 4K. Jordan's is painted in gold. And no number can erase that difference. The media machine behind the GOAT debate. There's another layer here that most people overlook. LeBron's position in the GOAT conversation wasn't built purely by fans. It was engineered by media, marketing, and the digital era. For the past decade, networks like ESPN have milked the GOAT debate for everything it's worth. Because it drives engagement, sells ads, and fuels non-stop controversy. LeBron's greatness became a weekly segment. Jordan's legacy became the yardstick. And fans got stuck in the middle of a never-ending loop designed to keep clicks rolling. But when the everyday fans finally got to vote, no media filters, no narrative pushing, they picked what felt real. Jordan's legacy didn't need hashtags or sponsorships. It needed one word, dominance. So what does this poll really mean? At first glance, it looks like another viral sports moment. Just one more round in the endless GOAT war. But this one hit differently. It didn't come from ESPN. It didn't come from a LeBron-friendly outlet or a Jordan nostalgia page. It came straight from the people. Millions of fans, those who watched, remembered, and felt the game, made this call. And that's what gives it weight. Polls like this aren't about stats. They're about legacy resonance. They show who still moves people emotionally, even decades after retirement. And that's something LeBron's unmatched longevity can't buy. Michael Jordan's story, the rise, the dominance, the perfection, has become timeless. It's not just that he won 6 titles, it's that he never lost when it mattered most. His career played out like a perfect movie script. LeBron's story? It's layered. Longevity, resilience, reinvention, but also public scrutiny, controversy, and losses fans still debate today. That complexity doesn't translate well in fan polls. And right in the middle sits Kobe Bryant, the player who captured Jordan's fire but lived in LeBron's media era. To fans, he's the symbol of authenticity, dedication, obsession, and the raw human side of greatness. That's why Kobe finishing second wasn't nostalgia. It was acknowledgement. Because this poll wasn't about who's statistically the best, it was about which story people believe in most. And right now, the story of Michael Jordan, the relentless winner, the global icon, the man who never lost on the biggest stage, still defines basketball's soul. But maybe that's the real debate. Has greatness become about numbers or about narrative? Because in a world run by social media, viral highlights, and constant comparison, emotion still wins. And for millions of fans, Michael Jordan still feels like the truth. So here's the real takeaway. This wasn't just a poll. It was a cultural checkpoint, a reminder that after decades of evolution, endless analytics, and new faces chasing the throne, the basketball world still bows to the same name it did in the 90s. Maybe this isn't about tearing down LeBron or glorifying Jordan. Maybe it's about understanding what greatness really means to each generation. For some, it's dominance. For others, longevity. For some, it's flair. For others, it's mentality. But one thing hasn't changed. Every single time this debate resurfaces,